Hola, hola. Welcome to the weekly DXdev developer call, 14th of March, 2023. And like we just here on a very fun joke, I don't want to be blinded by the bright future of DXdev. Mm, this is why I'm wearing sunglasses, because, yeah, I need to protect myself. So today, happy Pi Day. Why? What is what is Pi Day? It has something to do with the. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, depends on how you write. You know, in Argentina, we usually use in Latin America the day and then the month. So yeah, we won't have a Pi Day here. Or yes, yeah, it's going to be the three of the yeah. We don't have Pi. Yeah, we don't have Pi Day in Latin America because there is no 14 month. But yeah, for those who write the month and then the day, happy Pi Day. It sounds like I'm saying pie, like a pie, but I don't know how do you say it. The pi number. Anyway, let's continue. You guys are distracting me. Um, let's start with let's do the usual roundup over DXO projects. Then we are going to have Nelson explaining or showing a bit DCA stackly contracts that he is working on. It's Pi, okay. And and I'm going to share a few resources that I found about accounts abstraction that I think is good to read them and to be informed on what is going to happen in soon with account abstraction in Ethereum. So let's start. Maybe we can start with DXGov first.
Sure.
I know he's going to give you the update.
Yeah, I think I can give update today. That's actually not much in the way of updates today because we are heads down building, basically working on the 1.5 contract integration in the guild UI. So yeah, and we are also working on basically a DAO deploy. So things are getting exciting.
What do you mean by DAO deploy?
A DAO deployer UI. So basically, someone can just come into the UI and create their own DAO or like a guild deployment.
Okay, guild
It's
or
like a
DAO? You're talking
guild.
about guild,
I mean,
guild
yeah,
deploy.
we'll probably expand this to like expand this in the future when we have like more governance systems integrated. So right now it's just guilds.
Good, good. Yeah, there is a difference. I mean, actually, like a guild is a DAO, right? Like a mini DAO. We are calling the DAO deployer the one that is the current DAO that we use on mainnet, which is the avatar, controller, skins, voting machine. That will be the DAO, and the guild is just a guild, right? So it's like a mini DAO. Maybe a better work can be done on the naming of all this stuff. Maybe we can yeah, maybe we can find a way to differentiate these two type of DAOs because one is going to be more complex than the other. The main difference is that the guild is a simple DAO which uses only one token. Um, the DAO, the complex DAO will be one that uses two tokens, one as reputation and one for staking or liquid governance. So this is what is going to happen later on governance 2.0, right? That we are going to have a non-transferable reputation token and a liquid ERC20 token that is going to be used for staking and also governance rights. So yeah, that would be the main difference. Maybe the XCOP team or I know Dirk can work on a feature to see if we can differentiate it and communicate it on a different way. Cause it's like a bit confusion the names on that. But yeah, mainly work on the Git deployment. We talked about with Milton and Federico about two different possibilities on doing the deployment. One will be build everything from the UI side, and one is to have a smart contract deployed that will be a factory. What are you guys' plans to work on that? Which do you choose a path already on how you're going
Yeah,
to?
yeah. So the plan is to avoid using a deployer or like a backend of sorts if we can. So I think we are probably going to do everything from the front end, but basically the plan so far is to have a deployer guild which will deploy guilds for you. So if you need your own DAO created, you can actually create a proposal from Devi, and then that proposal will be created in a deploy DAO, and the deploy DAO will do the handle deployments for you. This is for like production, like quote unquote production deployments of DAO. But if you want to do your own deployment, you can just do it. So why we need the deployer is basically to like verify that guild is basically like a proper deployment of a certain protocol, for example. So this they would like carry a verified badge, for example. Not too sure if I'm being clear here. So if you have questions, please go ahead.
Yeah, so everything will be done from the UI side. Fede, we talk about it. Is there any change on how do you plan to?
We still have to say a few things, I think, but we might use a factory. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to talk about. So I mean, we just like figured out the specific plan. So what we could do is like I'm really going to talk with Federico and figure out what other possibilities are there. But so yeah, I think the best way for now is to like avoid using the factory if we can, because that would just like speed up our development process as well. But yeah, so maybe in a future iteration we can actually add the factory as well. I don't think we have a real need for a factory at this moment though.
Right. So there is not going to be a factory contract.
No, we would like continue using the registry, the guild registry we have, and the deployer guild will basically handle adding new guilds to the registry contract.
You mean the deployer guild will maintain the registry?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing is to deploy a guild, and another is to register it.
It'll handle both basically. So I think the plan is to basically on the create to deployer and the registry as well. So the create to deployer will be owned by the deployer guild, and then so they can basically like make sure that someone else like can't steal the guild address on a different chain. So basically we will have the same guild address for every guild on all the chains if they want to have multiple deployments on different chains. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's another way how to deploy a guild. It's not going to be permissionless, which I think is very important.
Yeah, that's not going to be permissionless because
it
the
is
deploy guild
permissionless anyway.
it is permissionless, but the deploy guild will basically have the final say, right? Yeah.
That's not bueno. That the deployer will have the. I mean, it's going to have the final say in which guild is registered.
Yeah.
But I can go and I deploy a guild.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It would not show up in the list of the DAOs that we show in the homepage, but you can still access your guild if you have the guild address, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
We're Augusto, if you want to go and deploy your own guild, where do you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Where?
I mean,
How?
that's the thing. I will need to go and use the create to deployer to deploy a guild in a permissionless way, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how to do that. So how do I?
Exactly. No. Yeah, this is what. Yeah, this is what we. What I think the DXGov team should think about to create a good and easy process where you can deploy permissionless. You have permissionless deployment, permissionless deterministic deployments, which means that you know that this address can be deployed on any network. This smart contract wallet can be deployed on any network. This guild can be deployed on any network with this configuration. And DD and the create to deployer was designed to allow that. So yeah, I'm a bit confused about this plan of using a guild DAO deployer and instead of having like a deployment page or something like that.
So I think the plan is to basically make things smooth in the UI. So the UI would support doing your own deployment without using the deploy DAO, or like if you want to do it through deploy DAO, it would basically support that as well. So we will have a deployer page, like a page to create your own guild. It would just create a proposal in the deploy DAO.
Okay. That's weird. I
Yeah.
think it shouldn't be done that way. I think it should just create the guild. It doesn't unnecessary overhead to a DAO deployer and bureaucracy in the process on deploying the guild. Where if I want to deploy, I just go and execute the transaction. I shouldn't have to wait for someone to vote for me to deploy a guild. Yes, for registering or having a curated list of guilds, right? Because if not, let's say if I want to deploy a guild that is going to do deal arms and organs, I can do it. It wouldn't be legal and it shouldn't appear on Davi, right? So it shouldn't be registered. But I should be allowed to deploy a guild to do wherever I want, right? Even though if I want to do is something illegal in different places. For example, just giving an example for it on an ultra freedom way of viewing how this I think should work. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen when you guys have something to share. Again, having it permissionless and free of access and easy to deploy, I think is something super important.
Yeah, I think we can like continue this discussion later as well. So let's do that and figure out the best path forward. Anyway, like this, like things that we have not finalized it anyway. We have not written any code or anything around this. So yeah.
Okay. An update also on the DXGov side. We have received the final audit document from Omega. So the version 2.0 release is already ready to emerge. I'm still waiting for approvals of the DXGov members, Madusha, Milton, Fede, Ross. I think all of us needs to go there and approve, even though I need two review approvals to merge the final release. And this is going to later, once that is merged, we are going to do the release on GitHub. But the audit document is already there, and then we are going to have, I think, minor releases coming in the future before integrating the governance 2.0 contracts. But it's a very important milestone because these are the contracts that are going to be used in the next iteration of our DAO, which means the redeployment of the DAO that is going to happen, and we are going to start moving funds later. And over this DAO that we are going to redeploy, and we are going to have the same address on every network, is where we are going to finally implement governance 2.0 in the future. So a very important step there, and I think this is going to be executed, and we are going to be able to start playing with it very soon. So yeah, looking forward for that. Now we can move to Swapper.
Yeah, no big updates on Swapper actually. So just a thing that we are integrating LeFi for Rich Swap, and then yeah, the contracts are, I think, ready to review for Zapper, and then we are just working on Stackly right now. So Leo started working on it from this week, and Nelson was working on the contracts by adding some fees to it. I think, yeah, I will pass it on to Nelson, and he will continue the walkthrough of the contract. I think.
Very cool. Shall we do that now, or shall we finish the round of updates first?
No, let's do it now. Ahora.
Cool. Let me share my screen. Wait, never done it on Jitsi. So total screen share. That should be it. Can you see my screen
Yep.
now? Yeah, cool.
Yep, we see it.
So for anyone that haven't seen Stackly, this is the current front end for Stackly. The idea is you can create.
Wait. We are seeing only the
Huh?
Jitsi.
I can swear I shared the whole screen, but let me do it again.
You shared the screen, but just change the tab.
Yeah, so I put like entire screen. Now, can you see the other tab?
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm showing like the Stackly front end.
For some reason, it doesn't go to that tab.
Yeah, right. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, I see my mouse moving there. That's strange.
Yes.
Sorry. Well, let me see if I can share. Cool. Let me see if this works. Can you see Stackly now?
Yes. See.
Okay. So I'm only sharing my browser, but that should work. Well, yeah. Then I will see how they share the VS Code. But so this is the Stackly frontend for anyone that hasn't seen it. The idea of Stackly is that you can do DCA, which is dollar cost average. You set an amount of USDC. You choose whatever token you want to buy and the frequency. And let's say you want to buy $100 of WETH, and you want to split it every hour from now. Every hour will do a proper split. You between now and tomorrow 2 p.m. it will split the money hourly, evenly, and it will execute the orders. So how this will, I want to show the contracts now. The question is how. Let me try to share the VS Code. Sorry about that. So now you should be able to see the code, right? Can you?
No,
You don't see the VS Code?
No.
Oh, wait. It close. Code allow. Can you now?
Nope.
God damn it.
If not, maybe show the GitHub.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
well, let me go back to here and Stackly. Can you see it now? The GitHub.
Sup?
Yeah, cool.
Sí, sí.
Wait, no, not here. Contracts. So how does this works? We have mainly two contracts. One is the order factory, and then the actual order itself. So first, after we set up our order here, it will ask us to sign a transaction. And that transaction will execute this create order function, which comes with this singleton address is this actual order is using minimal proxy implementation, the one implemented by OpenZeppelin. So we deploy these as a standalone contract, and then every time we create another here, it creates a minimal proxy to that address. So it's quite cheap for the users. For every DCA order we want to place, we will have to deploy a new contract that will be the address, so that will just be this proxy. So once this function is called, it sends the address of the DCA order that we use as a base, like the code base. It sends the initializer signature and the data for the parameters, and anons for the salts. So this will create a proxy. The proxy is using these clones, which are the implementation of OpenZeppelin for minimal proxies. It generates the salts, and it does the deterministic clone using the previously deployed order, which is this code. And then it executes the initializer function using the parameters also stored in the same bytes parameter. That actually deploys these contracts. Here are the parameters, the initial parameters. Then what we do is we need to take the cell token from we pass the initializer, which is the parameters we send to deploy the proxy. And we take the cell token address and the principal, which is actually the amount of money we are sending here as USDC. It could be any token, but here is USDC. And what we do is we take that token. We take that token and send it to the order. So that this will be the already deployed proxy using the order. And on the this is another. Let me change the pull request. There are some changes here. Sorry.
It's okay.
I could feel I was missing something. New file.
So the order is created on the initializer?
Actually, like when you say the order, you mean this contract?
Yeah, the code order, exactly. What happens
this
there?
This is deployed when, so wait, let me go back here. So the user calls this function, right? So and this function creates a proxy, which is the actual order. This is what the code swap relayers will call to execute the orders later on. So we deploy this proxy and we call the initializer using the parameters like owner, receiver, cell token, byte token, the amounts, the fees, and everything else. And here as I was saying, we take the cell token and the principal from the parameters we already sent to the all the contracts, and we take we send the money from the user that's executing this function that previously obviously approved the token to be taken. We send the total amount minus the protocol fee to the other contract, and then we take the fee and it will stay in this factory contract, and then we have functions to change the protocol fee or take the fee. And once that's done, we move to here, which is the contract we just deploy as minimal proxy. So here are the initializer parameters, which is owner and receiver, which currently the frontend sets this as the same, but like the idea is that if we want, we can set this to be different. The cell token, the Y token, the amount, the start time and the end time, and the interval. This will allow us to calculate the slots for the others. And then the settlement contract, this is a code swap settlement contract. So we do some checks to make sure like the start date is not like bigger than the end date and things like that. Then we approve the relayers to spend the money on this contract, which we just sent from the user. That will allow code swap to actually execute the transaction. Then what happens is there are a lot of like red functions that the code swap backend will use to calculate when it should execute the transaction, which are these order slots and current slots. It takes it does a loop and calculates like it gives the execution time of each order. Like if we have every hour, it will have the time of the exact time of when each individual order should be executed, and this returns the current one. Like if we are like between orders, it will return which is the slot we are now. So this is will be used by code swap. Then here we have another function that will also be used by code swap, which is the way to validate that the signatures that were made by the user to make sure the owner of the vault is going to get the transaction and not us. And then this is where we have all the data. Like this is a function code swap will execute when it has to execute the order. So when the time matches one of the current slots, they will call this function and have all the data from the order. They will also call this validation method, which also uses all the data from the order, which is stored in the contract, using the owner, the receiver, and things like that. And if all checks out, it will take the money from this contract. It's already approved, so it can take the money, execute the order at market price. So we don't set a minimal amount because we are trading at market price. And after the contract is after the trade is executed, it will send the money back to the receiver set, which for now is equal to the owner of the contract, which is the user. And we'll do that, like if we set it to be every hour, we'll do it every hour until there is no money left. If the user wants to cancel at any given time, it's possible. It can have like on the address of the proxy that he deployed, he can call cancel at any time, and it will transfer back any remaining balance on this contract to him, and that's pretty much it. And once these once the funds are used, so the contract has some ceremony left, it's pretty much a dead contract, it cannot be used again. So it's like they use this, so you deploy the order, and then once it's fulfilled, you are done. And that's pretty much it on the contracts. I'm going to show you, sorry, I made a couple of graphs, but I can share them later on the channels with this flow. It's mainly like a flow chart with everything I've been talking about, but I cannot show it because it's an image, and you can only see my browser. Sorry, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions?
Haven't you thought about adding like a minimum price for the order to be executed?
But how do you know? How can you know? Like, if I set up a DCA that starts next week, how can I predict?
For example, if I to check the market price, so I want this order to be executed, and now the price I know that is, for example, let's say $2,000, but I don't want my DCA orders to be traded under 1,800.
That's a feature we can definitely implement. It will require like some sort of Oracle queries to the tokens, but that's definitely something we can do. Remember, this is an MVP, so it's a minimal version of a DCA, but obviously suggestions are welcome. Haven't said it, but this has been built by Adam, so I wasn't the one to build it. So congrats to him. I know he's not here, but don't want to take credit of his work. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good future to have, Augusto.
Yeah. I was just thinking about, I mean, the main risk here is that you are authorizing orders to be executed over time in the future. And
and things can happen, and maybe you don't want to trade at that lower price, so you can just want them to revert. Yeah, that's a fair point. There are also other ideas. I think Sky mentioned in one of the calls about like being able not only to execute DCA in this way, but like also being able to set different prices. So when it reaches a specific price, it executes the order and things like that. So yeah, we have some ideas, but this is like the early version of what we can do.
Yeah. And this is just for buying, right?
Like, I mean, it's also for selling. If you
it's also for
go
selling
here
exactly.
and set WETH here and USDC here, you can use it in any way you want.
Okay, so you can create a strategy where you can buy and sell the specific price. So
not now, like you cannot set the prices now, but you could if we make it happen.
Yeah. Okay. This looks great. I think it definitely needs a bit more work, and it can involve a lot of funds. So this definitely, I think, is going to need an audit, because it can involve a lot of money. And my main concern, I don't know if it's going to be a needed feature, but we also, and we just experienced this weekend, that the market can change a lot abruptly.
To be fair, like setting a minimum price where you say, yeah, okay, stop. That's not hard to do. It's just one more parameter in the initializer contract, like here.
Exactly. That is what I wanted to hear.
We add a minimum price of the buy token, and then we need to integrate Oracle, so it has to be a token that can be priced on chain.
Yeah.
The good thing about this is that, like, because most of the execution is done off chain until like all the checks are done off chain until the actual trade is made. We could just trick these order slots to return 0 if the price has changed. So that means we don't have to worry about the fees when we consult the oracles.
Or even though you can just avoid the check and have a check, like let's say on chain where you're going to execute it, throw if the price is
Yeah,
wrong and simulate the order before executing.
but the thing is that the orders are executed by the vault relays, so
okay.
we don't have control of the order execution. So so it's executed by them. So we can only say, okay, don't do it, but we cannot do like, okay, if we've done it and before you send me tokens, revert or whatever. That's not possible.
I think you can if you add the check after, for example, and check the amount of token that you receive, the balance after execution the order. You can check, okay, this is the minimum that I should receive per order. If
Yeah,
this is
but the thing is, the function that gets called on chain is this one, I believe.
Yeah.
And this is before executing the order. So I don't know, like at the time CoSwap sends the token to a user, to a receiver, that could be an account. So I cannot access a revert
Right.
after that point, right?
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
what we could do is set the receivers as a contract and then get the money sent there. And then if it's less than whatever, we revert. That could be a way, but that means a lot more gas fees because we transfer the money to one contract and then the contract has to transfer it back to the receiver. And it gets more complex.
This can be an optional optional feature also. Like, for example, if you want to set like a minimum price,
you
we
go
can create
at the
another
receiver
proxy to receive it,
as a
to check
contract.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it's something we should research on what's the better approach, but yeah, could be done both ways.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, let's talk more about this later, Nelson, because
Sure.
yeah, it looks awesome, and yeah, we should start working on having it on production soon. Okay, thanks, Nelson. Yes, we have to do code reviews. So yeah, later, mainly we will share it across with Fede, Nani, and Milton also. So we can have their reviews too.
Good, thank you.
And on the contract, yeah. Then we have the DApp side. Who is working on that DApp?
Leo's just started like for a few days maybe.
Okay, Leo.
Yeah, Leo.
Okay, good. Looks very good. The design looks awesome. So that is interesting. Okay, great. Great update there. Very excited. Very good. Looks like very ready. Again, maybe we just work on adding that feature and doing a review, and then we can just start working on having that deployed. Okay, and at last, I wanted to share a few resources about account abstraction. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to share these links later. This was updated, and I think it was even like deployed on the Ethereum Org Foundation a few days ago. This is very interesting, very good read that starts as a low level, explaining the difference between account abstraction and externally owned accounts, EOAs. The main difference that we are going to have between this account abstraction and Ethereum accounts. So this is going to act, the account abstraction basically it's a change on the client. It's a deploy of a new smart contracts that are going to allow to manage smart wallets, and this is going to have a new type of transaction that is going to be called user operations, and it's going to allow Ethereum accounts to own smart wallets and define security roles, recover not the account, the smart wallet if you lost your keys, share your account security, pay someone else gas or else pay yours. You will be able to pay gas using ERC20 tokens, batch a lot of transactions together, and it's going to again allow you to bundle a lot of user operations that are going to be executed by these smart wallets, right? So the main thing is that also you are still going to need Ethereum accounts to own these smart wallets, but it's going to allow you to do a lot of things and bundle a lot of transactions together and again pay gas on ERC20 token. This is very good read that is going to show you what is going to be the security change in the future regarding seed phrases management. And for example, examples of security logic that can be built into smart contract wallet. You can have multi-sigs, a smart contract wallet are going to be multi-sigs. You can have account freezing, saying that if for example, I know like the accounts were lost or you want to freeze a certain smart wallet, you can have an account just to freeze or unfreeze in a smart wallet. Account recovery, set transaction limit. How much do you want to allow the smart wallet to send every day, week, or month? Create whitelist. Like for example, you're going to have a transaction limit, but you can allow to override this limit and to send these transactions any amount. So overall, it's going to again have a better user experience on the wallet side, and it's going to help improve security, allowing the Ethereum users to have stronger security rules built over this smart wallet. How will account abstraction be implemented? The main pursuit of this was EIP 4337. That is the one supported by Vitalik, which I'm going to share also a blog post about Vitalik that explains how it works. This smart contract, the core of this EIP is a smart contract called Entry Point, which was already deployed and it is already working on mainnet. With the use of this smart contract that is going to allow the execution of user operations, we will be able to use account abstraction. I was here. Here is another document that I'm going to share. This is a document of the EIP 4337 that it goes way deeper on how it's going to work. User sends user operation objects into a separate mempool. This is very important. This is going to allow a change on the client, on the Ethereum client, that we are going to have a mempool where the transactions go and a pool where the user operations go, right? So basically think that you are going to have two pools, and one is the that we have been using so far, where you send transactions and they are picked by the miners and they are executed. And then is the user operation, where the operations are going to be picked and they are going to be bundled together into a transaction that is going to be executed. So these user operations are going to be executed over the smart wallets that are executed using the entry point. This is basically how it's going to work. I'm going to share this later. This is the new type of transaction that we are going to have, how it's going to work. There are some graphics here, but I think it's not. I think it's on the post of Vitalik. This is also a very good read. Account abstraction without Ethereum protocol changes. This is why he was supporting this EIP. And this is basically how it's going to work. Here you have users. You have users. They are going to send user operations, all of them, to the user operation memory pool. A bundler is going to bundle all of them together on a single transaction, and this transaction is going to be on the Ethereum block. Bundle transaction plus other transactions, the one that we have been using so far. So of course, this is going to come alongside changes on the Ethereum client. I'm not very well aware on how the progress how the progress has been done so far here. The most important thing was that we need the entry point to be deployed to the community to come together and into a standardized way to use these user operations. That already happened. So this part, the bundle and the bundle transactions, is going to come alive very soon. So this is a word that we are going to be seeing a lot in the following months, where different services are going to have their bundle services where you're going to send the user operations and they're going to be picked up. And then we have a talk that I found that was given on the DevCon, that is account abstraction on 85, explained like I'm 5. So I'm going to be sharing all this later on the development channel. And I just wanted to give a quick overview on how this is going to affect our, not just us, the entire Ethereum community. So the main thing that we should start looking later is the bundle services, how we can, and which wallets are we going to start supporting or promoting the use on our community. I think a lot of us are using maybe Frame or MetaMask. We are between those wallets, and we should follow up on what are their plans to start integrating these user operation bundle services, and how this can be used later, maybe by DXdev. But again, I think it's something very interesting. We're going to start seeing different wallet services coming up in the following months. For the guys that are going to be going to ETH Porto, this is something to look up. So look if you find someone who is working already on that, or who plans to work on the bundle service on user operations or account abstraction. I think it's something that we should keep our eye on. And yes, I'm going to be showing all this stuff on the development channel. We have different things to read, from the basic, intermediate, beginner level to an intermediate level where you can go even deeper. And yeah, very interesting. So I think that was all our call. I'm going to stop sharing. That's it. It was our call. Thanks everyone for joining, and I see you in Keybase next week.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good evening.
Ciao, ciao.